Today we will learn about module number 8, Sniffing. Module objective, overview of sniffing concept, understanding various sniffing technique, understanding how to defend against various sniffing technique, overview of various sniffing tool, understanding different sniffing countermeasure, and lastly, understanding different technique and tool to detect sniffing. This is module flow, sniffing concept, sniffing tool, sniffing technique, countermeasure, and sniffing detection technique. Network sniffing. They have two types. Packet sniffing. Packet sniffing is the process of monitoring and capturing all the data packet passing through a given network using software application or hardware device. It allows an attacker to observe and access the entire network traffic from a given point. Packet sniffing allows an attacker to gather sensitive information such as telnet password, email traffic, syslog traffic, router configuration, web traffic, DNS traffic, FTP password, chat session, and account information. But how a sniffer works? A sniffer turns an IC of the system to the promiscuous mode so that it listens to all the data transmitted on each segment. Passive sniffing. Passive sniffing refers to sniffing through a hub, wherein the traffic is sent to all ports. It involves monitoring packets sent by others without sending any additional data packet in the network traffic. In a network that uses hub to connect system, all hosts on the network can see all traffic, and therefore the attacker can easily capture traffic going through the hub. Hub usage is an outdated approach. Most modern network now use switch. For the active sniffing is used to sniff a switch-based network. Active sniffing involves injecting address resolution packet or ARP into the network to flood the switch content addressable memory table, which keep track of host connection. Example for active sniffing techniques such as MAC flooding, DNS poisoning, ARP poisoning, DHCP attack, switch port stealing, and spoofing attack. How an attacker hack the network using sniffer? First, an attacker connect to his desktop or laptop to a switch port, and then number 2, he or she run discovery to learn about network topology. Number 3, he or she identify a victim machine to target he or her attack. And number 4, he or she poison the victim machine by using ARP spoofing technique. Number 5, the traffic destined for the victim machine is redirected to the other attacker. And lastly, number 6, the hacker extract password and sensitive data from the redirect traffic. Protocol vulnerable to sniffing. We have telnet and login. Keystroke include username and password are sent in clear text. For the HTTP, data is sent in clear text. For the POP, password and data are sent in clear text. IMAP, password and data are sent in clear text. SMTP and NTP, password and data are sent in clear text. For the FTP, password and data are sent in clear text. Sniffing in data link layer of the OSI model. Sniffer operate at the data link layer of the OSI model. Networking layer in the OSI model are designed to work independently of each other. If a sniffer sniffs data in a data link layer, the upper OSI layer will not be aware of the sniffing. This is an example of the sniffing. Hardware protocol analyzer. A hardware protocol analyzer is a piece of equipment that captures signal without altering the traffic in the cable segment. It can be used to monitor network usage and identify malicious network traffic generated by hacking software installed in the network. It captures data packet, decode it, and analyze its content based on certain predetermined rules. It allows the attacker to see individual data bytes of each packet passing through the cable. This is an example of hardware protocol analyzer. Span port. Span port is a port that they configure to receive copy of every packet that pass through the switch. This is an example of the span port. Wiretapping. Wiretapping is the process or the monitoring of the telephone and internet conversation by the third party. Attacker connect a listening device such as hardware, software, combination of both to the circuit carrying information between two phones or hosts on the internet. It allows an attacker to monitor, intercept, access and record information contained in the data flow in the communication system. There are two types of wiretapping. Number first is active wiretapping. It monitor, record, alter and also inject data into communication or traffic. Passive wiretapping is only monitor and record the traffic and collect knowledge regarding the data is contained. MAC flooding. MAC flooding involves the flooding of the CAM table with fake MAC address and IP pair until it is full. The switch then acts as a hub by broadcasting packet to all machines on the network, and therefore the attacker can sniff the traffic easily. This is an example of MAC flooding. MAC flooding switch with MAC OF. MAC OF is unique on Linux tool that is part of the DSN sniff collection. MACOF send random source MAC and IP address. This example of the MAC flooding switch. Switch spot stealing sniffing technique use MAC flooding to sniff the packet. The attacker flood the switch with false gratuitous ARP packet with the target MAC address as the source and his own MAC address as a destination. A race condition of the attacker flood packet and the target host packet occur. Thus, the switch must change its MAC address binding constantly between the two different ports. In such case, if the attacker is fast enough, he or she will be able to direct the packet intended for the target host toward he or her switch port. The attacker now managed to steal the target host switch port and send ARP request to the stolen switch port to discover the target host IP address. When the attacker gets ARP reply, this indicates that the target host switch port binding has been restored and the attacker can now sniff the packet sent toward the target host. This example for the switch port stealing. How to defend against the MAC address? As you can see, you can configure the port security on the Cisco switch. This example for the configuration of the port security on Cisco switch. How DHCP works? DHCP server maintains TCP/IP configuration information such as valid TCP/IP configuration parameter, valid IP address and the duration of the list offered by the server in database. It provides address configuration to DHCP enable client in the form of the list offered. This example for the DHCP work. DHCP starvation attack. This DOS attack on the DHCP server where the attacker broadcasts false DHCP requests and try to list all the DHCP address available in the DHCP scope. Therefore, the legitimate user is unable to obtain or renew IP address request via DHCP and fail to get access on the network. This example of the DHCP starvation attack. How to defend against DHCP starvation and rogue server attack? First, you must enable port security to defend against DHCP starvation. Configuring the MAC limit on the switch edge port. Drop the packet from the further MAC once the limit is reached. Second, enable DHCP snooping, which allow the switch to accept DHCP transition direct from the trusted port. This example how you make it switch command. What is address resolution ARP? Address resolution ARP is stateless protocol used for resolving IP address to the machine address. All the network devices that need to communicate on the network broadcast ARP query on the network to discover other machine MAC address. When one machine needs to communicate with others, it looks up the IP address in the ARP table. If the MAC address is not found on the table, the ARP request is broadcast over the network. All machines on the network will compare this IP address to their own IP address. If one of the machine on the network identify with this IP address, it will respond to the ARP request. With its IP address and MAC address, requesting machine will store the address in part in the ARP table and start the communication. This example how ARP address